This is a strange yet familiar family of grains. We often come across these small, inconspicuous seeds in our daily lives. Some have gone on to become major global staple foods, while others have slowly disappeared from the dining table. They share their glory, complementing each other, together supporting us, reflecting the diversity of our past and present. In April, as the swallows are busy building their nests, Zhang Ai-ding begins his construction work. 56-year-old Mr. Zhang is one of the few local craftsmen. His family's land is less than a third of a hectare, all in the mountains. This wall has been repaired just in time for spring planting. The Taihang Mountains are rocky and lack soil. Tiered terraced fields are one way the people here survive.
我这什么？
采个萝卜。
Before dawn, his wife Zhang Hai-ye stir-fries a pot of vegetables. The field to be sown is on the mountain peak. Planting crops is hard work. The fields that have been dormant all winter must first be ploughed and then harrowed. The seeds being poured into the truck are millet. Locals call it guji. As the box is shaken, the millet drops down. 3 rows can be sown at once, and not a single inch of land is wasted. The tool shed doubles as a kitchen. Next, the millet hulls are removed. The resulting slurry satisfies both thirst and hunger. The slurry is seasoned with wild chives, then boiled until the millet grains open up, and some extra vegetables are added to enhance the flavour. They make lunch right on the spot. Meanwhile, the donkey eats a basket of potatoes.
好比我们家的一个成员嘛，时间长了就很有感情了。
Precipitation here is sparse, making it difficult for wheat and rice to survive. Millet was domesticated from dogtail grass and is an unusually tough grain.
祈求平安，风调雨顺。
There is only one spring rain left. The seeds germinate under the soil and accumulate energy. Rainwater is collected in cisterns and is as important to grains as it is to people. After a few gusts of spring breeze and some rainfall, the millet begins to grow. Northern Chinese millet has distinct grains, while Southwesterners prefer glutinous varieties. Deep-fried pork belly and preserved pork are added to steamed glutinous millet. A bowl is filled with slow-boiled rock sugar water. After steaming for over 4 hours, the sticky grains and oil combine, creating the ideal comfort food. In September, the crops ripen and the terraces become busy once again.
想方设法的去偷着吃一口，卤水香嘛。
Millet has been cultivated in northern China for about 8,000 years and has been an important ration there. Its cultivation later expanded throughout Eurasia. Today, millet has been largely replaced as a staple food, but due to its drought resistance, it is still widely grown throughout the Yellow River Basin. People in different places have their own ways of processing millet. Aside from eating it directly, the northerners also grind it into flour. In Qifeng, lard and millet flour are mixed to make millet puff pastries. It's the secret ingredient of this local snack. It's spread evenly over the wheat dough and carefully rolled up. The pork belly is marinated and then smoked with brown sugar and pine wood. At high temperatures, the oil and flour separate for a crispy layered crust. Although the millet cannot be seen, its aroma remains. The pastry is stuffed with smoked pork and then returned to the oven. Millet burgers are golden and crispy and have a distinctive rich taste. In contrast, Shanghai Year's approach is much simpler. The fermented batter contains many bubbles, so it's beaten thoroughly while hot. The persimmons are fully ripe right now. The soft, spongy texture wraps around them for an irresistible taste. This quarter-hectare field is harvested once a year, and the millet is stored in a warehouse. For the land to recuperate and thrive, the millet fields are rotated for a different crop next year. Its hometown is on the other side of the world.
Vénganse a desayunar.
Ten-year-old Lenny treasures a photo of his father winning a championship. Following in his father's footsteps, this year the two will join the longest corn cob competition together. The Cheborik volcano last erupted 150 years ago, which enriched the soil here with nutrients. Lenny's field is at the foot of the mountain, and they grow the world's largest native corn variety, Hara.
Sí, también 40, sí.
40? Corn was first domesticated in central Mexico over 8,000 years ago. After millennia of cultivation, the cob has gradually thickened, and the grains have increased in number. The day of the competition is Lenny's mom's birthday. His grandmother begins preparing early in the morning. Lime helps the corn kernels soften and release essential niacin. Chicken and spices are added. Then it's simmered on low heat. Lenny and his father are ready. The tournament had been suspended for a while due to the global pandemic. Now that it's back, all the contestants hope to win. To encourage the protection of Hara corn, the competition offers generous prizes. Each person can enter up to 3 cobs of corn, and the longest total length wins. Lenny is the youngest player, and since it's his first time competing, 3rd place is a very good result. After cooking for a long time, the huge grains of corn open up like flowers. Their family and friends arrived one after another, and father and son rushed back.
Ay, gracias.
Paired with fresh vegetables, the rich red soup base is slightly spicy, and the corn kernels are sweet and chewy. Corn is the pride of Mexicans and one of the greatest achievements of agricultural domestication. Due to its strong adaptability and high production, it has spread all over the world. Corn was introduced to China 400 years ago. The appearance of the kernels earned it the name jade millet because it was so valued and loved. In late summer, on Huang Mei Feng's roof, the little ones are about to go out to work. Their target is corn, which is now in flowering season. The upper male spike can produce tens of millions of pollen grains. The lower female spike releases filiform flower columns. After 2 months, the husks become yellow and loose, and the corn is ready to harvest. The southwest was one of the routes by which corn entered China. Different places have borne special varieties, including waxy corn, which consists almost entirely of branched starch. Fresh corn grits are mixed with a little flour and wrapped in fragrant corn leaves. These corn cakes are tender and sweet, and even better when drizzled with honey. At this street-side stall, breakfast is 5 yuan per serving, with more than 20 kinds of side dishes included. However, the main attraction is not the side dishes, but the delicious, thick, waxy corn congee. In the northeast, where corn is abundant, people maximise space by spreading corn buns around the edge of the pot. They come out soft and warm, but crispy underneath, and absorb some of the broth. Mexico has the widest variety of types of corn, and Mexicans even refer to themselves as corn people. Tacos, a Mexican snack popular all over the world, come in myriad varieties, but the corn shell is the mainstay. Chef Adzin loves telling traditional stories of corn using modern language. Tender and juicy baby corn is grilled to add texture. Red shrimp are boiled in cornmeal. The combination of seafood and corn is ingeniously balanced. Using molecular gastronomy techniques, fresh corn juice is formed into water drop shapes, and when lightly bitten into, the sweetness squirts out for a unique experience. However, none of this satisfies Atsin. When the weather is hot and humid, a kind of sick corn sometimes appears in the fields. It gives off a distinctive smell of damp soil and fungus, and is bloated and deformed. Once corn is infected with black fungus, it becomes an alternative to the cereal family, Mexican truffle. Unfriendly scents are sometimes provocative and tempting. Strange flavours go beyond our experience and habits, and there is often only a thin line separating them from delectability. Once this barrier is broken, it's as if a door to another world has been opened. The taste of mushrooms, garlic, pine nuts and moss are combined, with subtle sweetness and floral notes.
Nuestro maíz y nuestro huitlacoche, una referencia de nuestra cocina mexicana.
Si no hay maíz, no hay país.
Major geographical discoveries 600 years ago changed the global food structure. Cultivation of corn gradually expanded, while that of other grains declined. In October, on the lowest plateau, harvest of this tall crop begins. Hemp was once a major grain of the early Central Plains dwellers.
爸，你的兄弟都买着了，
到这儿了。
找你买别。
吃了我放心吧。
日常。
After drying, the hemp stalks turn white. They grasp the tip and gently tear off the outer peel. In ancient times, this slender, flexible vegetable fibre was used as a natural textile material. Hemp seeds are only about 3 millimeters in size, are high in fat, and after frying have a rich, nutty aroma. Cracking hemp seeds is a special talent of the people of Tien Shui. Hemp is also an important oil crop in China. The oils of both linseed and sesame are rich and strong, while hemp oil is more subtle and pleasant. It has the flavour of mixed herbs and beans, and can be mixed with fruit and yogurt or as a finishing touch to light dishes. More than 2,000 years ago, hemp seeds were consumed as a grain, though this time has long since passed. However, Northwesterners still have a special way to eat it. Grinding breaks down the hemp seed's cell structure, and then they're scrubbed repeatedly in hot water to filter out the fine residue. The water is kept at a simmer, and without being stewed in broth, the protein is denatured and produces flocculation. This is ma fu, hemp tofu, a food loved by the people of Tianshui. It has a delicate taste and complex, nutty, woody and smoky flavours. Ma fu adds incredible texture and flavour to plain wheat-based foods. The buns are soft and delicious, especially when fresh and hot. The flatbread is crispy on the outside and is dipped in freshly ground garlic. It's chewiest when deep fried. This plant may not look like much, but it brings warmth to the family from stem to grain. Frostfall is the last solar term of autumn. Winter is coming. But what is there to worry about? Norbu is collecting a kind of thin bamboo in the mountains. He and his family live on a 1,500-metre high mountainside in the Himalayas, which is home to the Sherpas opposite Nepal. His wife, Song Kaur, is waiting for the sisters to go down to the field to harvest a type of Sherpa grain. The ear of the grain, which is shaped like a chicken claw, has already turned tan. This is called ragi, or as the Sherpas call it, chicken claw grain. The seeds are ground into flour and boiled in hot water. This acts as a convenient meal during breaks from work. Chicken claw grain samba has a pleasant grainy texture and mild sweetness, and is a long-standing staple food here. No one is certain when chicken claw grain arrived in Xizang. 5,000 years ago, it was domesticated in Africa, then grown all over Asia and Europe, and remains an important grain in India. Maizia is from Latvia, and her husband, Hardeep, runs an Indian restaurant.
I have a busy day.
They live in Shanghai, and Maizia always makes Nordic-style sourdough bread before Christmas. Meanwhile, Hardeep plans to take a different approach and add ragi flour from India. As it turns out, gluten-free flour increases the difficulty. At Hardeep's restaurant, everything is much easier to handle. Ragi is used in a more refined way here. It can be made into simple pancakes, which pair wonderfully with ice cream. The lamb is grilled until fragrant, and the small fish is coated in batter and deep fried until crispy. The ragi finally appears in a special form.
Curry mayonnaise, and then we use the ragi grain as a couscous with a pea puree.
Hardeep's experiment at the restaurant was a success, but he still has the sourdough bread he's making for his wife on his mind. Fresh out of the oven, the bread is crispy on the outside and soft and chewy on the inside, with a rich and mildly sour aroma of grain. Although his first attempt isn't perfect, Mai Zia offers her encouragement. The Sherpas are an ethnic group living in symbiosis with the mountains and are expert trekkers. It takes Songkor and her sisters 3 hours to carry the harvest back to the mountainside village.
Rintin. Macik to nga laki ni medad jara sa tisyo antare atu.
Oh lala, haring tahu sare.
Saren.
Oh lala.
Finishing the harvest is a major event worth celebrating. It will take Songkor 10 days to prepare a thank you feast. They cook the chicken claw grain and mix it with yeast so that it ferments. Then they return it to the pot and keep it warm with a blanket. Two days later, white mycelium has grown on the grain, showing successful fermentation. Then they transfer everything to a clay pot and wait for the magic to happen. The bamboo arrows that Norbu brought back have been polished to a shine and newly decorated. Songkor has also changed into her best clothes. They unseal the pottery altar to kick off the feast. They insert a bamboo tube and take a long swig. This is the most authentic way to drink chicken claw grain spirits. Slightly sour and sweet, smooth like juice, yet also like rice wine. It has both a rich texture and a fresh aroma of rice. Agricultural peoples depend on grain to survive. Today, people who no longer worry about a full stomach have many more choices, and some foods that they once depended on have found a new life. When it comes to grains used to make spirits, sorghum stands above the crowd. After being soaked and boiled in river water, the starch particles inside the grains expand and gelatinize. When blended with yeast, sorghum opens up and welcomes in nearby microorganisms. Whole grains are used for solid fermentation, a distilling process like no other in the world. In the cellar, the sorghum gradually becomes more mellow, creating the unique tasting spirits from this region of China. It all starts with sorghum growing on the riverbank. The seeds of this dark red glutinous sorghum have a bulge like a bird's beak. The seeds are small with thick shells and begin to germinate once exposed to water. After 2 weeks, the seedlings are transplanted into the ground, where they await the rainy season. Around early June, rain washes away the fuchsia soil on the banks of the Qishui River, giving the river a reddish hue. The climate in the river valleys is hot and humid, which helps sorghum accumulate energy. Sorghum originated in Africa and has been domesticated and cultivated for about 6,000 years, but now it is seen less and less. One reason is that the seed coat contains tannins and is quite bitter. But this cannot stop the Chinese, who are willing to go to great lengths in their cooking. Freshly harvested sorghum grains are scrubbed repeatedly to remove the seed coat, reducing the bitterness. Mixed with rice and corn bran, multigrain meals are a custom that the Xin family makes sure to preserve. The sorghum is ground into flour, then the dough is kneaded to make it sticky. Brown sugar, peanuts and lard are used as fillings. Sorghum sugar triangles are both sweet and savoury and have a delicious texture. The tannins in the husk make cooking a challenge, but they can transform some special aromatic substances in baijiu brewing and storage. And just the right amount of tannins can give baijiu a pleasantly mellow texture. Due to its high alcohol content and flammability, aside from adding flavour, Baijiu is also highly ornamental. When the spirits meet a hot cauldron, it instantly evaporates into flames, bringing out the flavour while reducing oiliness. A few drops of baijiu can also be added to charcoal grilled seafood to boost its flavour. Multi distillers make full use of their spirits to cook locally farmed yellow beef. They use a dry pot with high heat, and the beef comes out moist and very delectable. Although sorghum has gradually disappeared from the Chinese dinner table, it found a new and even more glorious role. A bumper harvest is best paired with spirits.
大家老喝，你的大家喝，
我不喝，
要喝，
喝嘛，那就喝什么？
来，老乡，
来，来我，
喝姐，喝嘛。
Every type of grain that we get along well with is worth cherishing. We should preserve those that have brought so much variety to our tables and that are gradually growing distant from us. We owe them that much. The Yellow River flows straight through the lowest plateau and forms a sandbar in Hechu, Shanxi, called Niang Town. Li Laifeng is the only person living here, accompanied by only her dog Lang Lang and cat Little Flower. In the Yellow River Basin, there is a crop whose grains are very similar to millet, broomcorn millet. On a summer evening, the broomcorn millet in the rice slurry pot begins to ferment. It takes patience, but the result is well worth it. Overnight, the once tough seed coat of the broomcorn millet has now softened. Broomcorn millet has left a strong mark on the civilizational history of the Central Plains region. In the past, it was also grown on Niang Town, but just over a decade ago, the fields were replaced by trees. After simmering on low heat for 20 minutes, the grains open up. Broomcorn millet congee has a delicious sour taste and aids digestion. In the summer, Li Laifeng eats it almost every day. Across the river, in Inner Mongolia, traces of broomcorn millet can still be seen in people's diets. The pan is oiled with butter. Then beef jerky and chewy milk tofu are added. The Mongols refer to hull-less broomcorn millet simply as fried rice. Since the Yuan dynasty, it has been an indispensable grain for these plains dwellers. The water is brought to a light boil, and milk, meat and grains are combined to make what they call pot tea. The thick broth has a pleasant chewy texture and is energy dense and highly satiating.
더럭채.
"70 years ago, Li Laifeng moved to Niangniang town to marry. Her children have all moved away to start their own families, and after her husband passed away, she chose to stay. Today is a big day for their family. Li Laifeng's second son is picking her up by boat. This will be the first time in 3 years that she has left Niangniang town. Her oldest son and daughter-in-law, who live in the county, have also been busy since early this morning. The waxy broomcorn millet flour is rolled into small balls, placed in a steaming basket, and then stacked in a tower. The steam increases the stickiness of each basket. To make the dough smooth and firm, it must be rolled while still hot. Today is Li Laifeng's birthday, and her children and grandchildren are gathering at her second son's house. They're making these vegetable cakes with millet flour for the occasion. Now it's time for the final step. When fried at high temperatures, the outer layer quickly dehydrates, creating crispy golden brown bubbles. With each bite, the aroma comes out, and the inside is fresh and soft. Throughout the years, the south bank of the Yellow River has changed dramatically. Fortunately, the whole family is here, and so is the broomcorn millet. Broomcorn millet is preserved in the diet of the people of Chenchu. Every spring it serves another special purpose. Hulled and hullless broomcorn millet flour are mixed together, creating a fun sculpting material for local housewives. In Chenchu County, the second day of the second lunar month is the Dough Lantern Festival. Making offerings of abundant food is a common human custom. The people of Chenchu embody their yearning for peace and security in exquisite shapes and light them up at night. With the holidays over, life returns to serenity. There were once more than 100 families living in Niangniang town. but now there remain only 3. Li Laifeng's sons take turns visiting their mother on the island each week, bringing food and anything else she needs.
买回米米来了。
给你买的米米。
米米是红米米，每年烤。
哦，红米。
你要早上小孩吃酸酒。
哦，吃完咱再买。
再。
In the new year, Li Laifeng still has broomcorn millet by her side. In the Taihang Mountains, Zhang Haiye swaps millet for fresh vegetables. In Tianshui, this year's hemp stalks are being put out to dry. In Mexico, Lenny's family celebrates his prize. Plant a grain in spring and harvest myriad flavors in fall. These small seeds warm the heart and soothe the soul. Regardless of the ups and downs of the world, wherever grain grows, someone will call it home.